right. I'm so dirty. Why am I a dirty bitch? Hi guys, what's up? It's me, Audra, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, I'm not sure how you got here, but I'm certainly glad you came. And if you are new here, well, you're in for a treat. All right, if you like horror, beauty, and a little bit of commentary thrown in, then I suggest you go ahead and subscribe. For the low, low price of $0, I'll tell you random facts about myself that you never even asked for. Today's fact, I don't like even numbers. And here are my socials. Let's hang out, let's do some things, let's do the thing where we do the things. Does that even make sense? I feel like it does make sense. Okay, so for today's video, in Tarot Tuesday, I was blown away by the amount of you who also suffered from sleep paralysis and inspired from Robert Welsh, who was kind enough to have me on his Makeup Monday Ghost Stories. Like, I was just like balls to the wall. Like I was shocked and I was stunned, and I'm still very flattered and excited that I got to take part in that. But inspired by him, who was inspired by Bailey Sarian, who also inspired my Tarot Tuesdays and, you know, the things that I do that regard media and horror, I decided to go ahead and read some of you guys' comments about sleep paralysis. Some of this stuff gave me the chills. I didn't even read all of them all the way through because some of y'all were freaking me out from the jump. And while I do that, I'm going to put on some makeup. Now also, fun fact, I just recently got these from the Walmarts. That's how we say it over here, the Walmarts. Because when you're old, you put the in front of everything, like the YouTubes. Resident old bitch of YouTube. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and have some fun. Hopefully come out with a whole ass look. We'll find out. That fly! I told him to leave. He is refusing. He's the stupid one. All his brothers are outside trying to tell him to leave, and like, there he is. Anyways, we're not gonna talk about my communication with all the bugs. Okay, so for a little bit of a closer look, I have a crease brush, a shader, and all these brushes. I don't really want to go through all their names because they're like on the bottom, you know, they have the names of them. Here's the thing about me, I use them however I see fit. I understand the purpose, but I'm gonna use it how I want. There's a joke in there. I'm not gonna tell it. All right. Okie dokie, the Devil's Eye Primer is applied. I'm gonna bring you in a little bit closer and we're gonna do some things. All right, here we go. Okay, you're a little close. Let me just fumble around. We're gonna do something very, very simple because I've actually never tried to read and do makeup, so it's gonna be an experience for both of us. All right, Tatiak75 said, I have the thing sometimes where I'm having a nightmare and I call out to wake me up. I've been doing this for probably 35 years, but I still can't drag myself out. No, girl, no. Ooh, that's so scary. I hate that too because it ruins my whole day. I think I've only had true sleep paralysis once where I felt and saw a thick black shape hovering over me. Girl, I'm gonna need to get you some new friends. It was like a fog, but I could reach out and it would be a solid material. It lasted a while and was terrifying. Oh my God. Okay, so here's the thing. I had talked about sleep paralysis and I said, I don't really run into, this brush is nice by the way. This is the crease brush and I'm using it how the fuck I want to. I'm not really a huge believer in like a transition shade, so just know that about me going forward. It's not really my bag. I don't transition. I just slap makeup on my face. All right. But anyway, but I don't experience the heavy weight that so many people do. And that's like, I don't know, there's something about that. Like, I'm really glad that I don't, but also like, I kind of feel like sort of bad because all these people experiencing the heavy weight and and I just don't get it. You know what I mean? I don't have that. It's just like, I can't get up. I can't move. I'm screaming. I can see you moving around. I hate it. Another Lemon Tree. Hey, patron. Said, so this is my first Tarot Tuesday. Your reenactments are amazing. I would not say amazing. They are ridiculous, to say the least. But thank you. I only have one memory of sleep paralysis from when I was 13 and at a boarding school. Everything bad happens at boarding schools. I just want you to know. In case you're wondering, everything bad happens there. I'm gonna use this. This is a detail brush, but it's a little bigger than whatever. I'm gonna do what I want. A bunch of ghostly skeletons got up from the corners of our room and circled mine and my roomie's beds. Nope. The weirdest part is she saw them too. I don't know what spooky teenage energy we were emitting to make us share a sleep paralysis hallucination moment, but shared sleep weirdness wasn't uncommon for us. Oh girl, that's your sister from another mister. You didn't know? Okay. I recall getting up, sleepwalking over to her bed, waking her up, and then conducting a conversation. All the while, fast asleep. But with my eyes open. I've done that. Ooh, I gotta tell you about that after I'm done reading this. I used to sit bolt upright and scream in my sleep too, and one time, while back home, I sleepwalked into the kitchen and fretfully tried to give my mom my retainer. It's been decades since that stuff went down. Now I just have intensely vivid dreams. I can't imagine the terror of experiencing sleep paralysis on a regular basis. It's horrifying, and that's horrifying too. Ooh, the shared. Like that I haven't heard before. I haven't heard anybody having shared sleep paralysis. Anybody else have that? Like, let me know, because like this is becoming so fascinating. Also, wasn't there a movie called like Them or They? I think it was called They. Do you know what I'm talking about? There was a movie called They, and there were these like creatures. I don't know if it has anything to do with sleep paralysis, but there was that girl, she had really short blonde hair, and she was just like having a rough time with the creatures, and I think she ends up getting taken by them. I could be wrong. Listen, I watch so many horror films that sometimes they all melt together. We're gonna just do this right quick, do a little bit of detail, and then we're gonna come back and tell another one. So then the next one is from Elizabeth Perez, and she says, so I fell in love with your storytelling and I'm here for more. I'm doing a terrible job right now, Elizabeth. I am terrifically sorry. I had sleep paralysis so often growing up. I've had some recently and they have never seemed to get any easier. I could swear I was a male priest in a past life because I kept going back to this house, blessing it. I would look down and I'm in a priest robe. Ooh. As I'm doing the blessing, I start getting cold and immediately know I'm about to lose control over moving. Oh no. As I try to force my body to move as I'm seeing it from above, I always start praying the Our Father because I found that it helps me break from sleep paralysis. However, it's not so easy always. Yes, because you can't move. As I start saying it, I either can't start it or as I'm saying it, all internally because I'm aware of what's going on, it comes out almost in a demonic voice tone until I keep pushing and finally able to push it and my body is released. Ooh, girl. She said, I wish I could tell you a few more of my experiences. I've had some weird shit happen, 3 of which I've had people around to witness it. Or I've witnessed something that someone else just witnessed. Girl, tell me. Tell me. Your sleep paralysis? No, I am not. See, we do not, that is not the same. We are not living the same. I have had past life experiences. Oddly, one of them has to do with me being Scottish, which is so strange. Very vivid, clear image of like red hair. It was so weird. Why was I a white lady in my past life? Who knows? Anyway, running and down a field. It was very strange. I remember having it and it was just such a strange sensation because I was awake. I was not sleeping when that happened. And I was like, the fuck? I have a very interesting life. I've been keeping a lot of my creepy off the internet. Now y'all are pulling my creepy into the internet and I don't know if I'm here for it yet, okay? I don't know if I'm ready. Just, all right. stand so far. We're gonna do one extra thing to be like a little bit extra, and then we're gonna go from there. I'm being an extra bitch today. I'm actually filming, for those of you that don't know. By the time you see this, or you may be, well, yeah, by the time you see this, it will have already taken place. I'm filming for a live. I go every Thursday. Me and Emily go live and we swap channels. Sometimes we have a guest on, but we go live and we just chat about stuff, beauty stuff, makeup stuff, whatever we feel like chatting about. Sometimes we chat about the carrots and the tacos. And as you get more and more acquainted with my channel, you'll really, I mean, you should probably know what carrots and tacos are at this point, right? I can't be tricking you, can I? Like, you can't be like, what's a carrot and a taco? I'll use it in a sentence again. He inserted his carrot into her taco. Sauce was made. Okay, so that's a thing. Now I'm gonna try this funky ass detail brush right quick, so it's gonna just take me a second. I'm gonna try this, see how this works. Because I've never used one of these before. See, this is what it looks like. Is it giving you, it's refusing to focus, hold on. And it's like like rubbery. It's rubbery. We're gonna try it. Why not? Today is a day of trying new things, including reading on camera. Look, Ma, I did it. I wasn't breathing the whole time, but damn it, I did it. So what I'm gonna do is probably what you saw was a lot of fast forwarding to me getting here, because Chandra Cox gave me a fabulous account of her sleep paralysis. And I actually really wanna pay attention to this and give it its full due. So I'm gonna reread it. It still creeps me the fuck out though. Chandra, thank you for that. Also, help. You get help. All right, so here we go. I suffer from having the same nightmares over and over for the last 20 years or so. I'm 34. This occurs 3 to 4 times a week, and I always wake up screaming. That's the part that really upsets me, is that she wakes up fucking screaming. No, don't wake up screaming. I'm having a conversation with myself about this makeup look, so talk amongst yourselves. It wakes up my family, 2 kids and a husband, and we have just kind of dealt with it and laugh about it when it happens after I've calmed down.
Quick creep note. Every time I tried to read this story, something went awry, so Chandra. Girl.
The dream is as follows. This is where shit gets creepy, y'all, because I need you to like be there. Focus, bitch. Focus. Things are happening. Anyway, I am in bed wherever I'm currently living. Yes, you heard that right. The dream follows me to wherever I am living. And it's like I am in a bed in whatever house, apartment that I'm currently at. So I'm in bed and the door to the bedroom is closed. It starts to open slowly, and in walks a full black shadow of a man. I can never see his face, but the same thing happens each time. He walks up to me and just stands there, looking down at me, and that's when I scream. The dream has followed me for so long, and I don't know if it's considered sleep paralysis or not. But either way, it's absolutely terrifying, and I don't know how to get rid of it. Side note, I consider myself a medium and have always felt haunted for many, many years. I believe this is another way for me to be haunted by whatever spirit has attached itself to me so long ago. You are correct. Help is required. Like, that's not even me joking. Like, help is required. You are going to need a good amount of help, because that kind of spirit that's attached itself to you, it's on very good. It's held on for a very long time, and it's not going to let go very easily. So that wasn't good news. I'm not always the bearer of good news. All right, so that's it for the eyes right now. We're gonna come out a little bit so you don't have to be like all up in my eyeballs. I'm gonna come back and do more with it, but for now, that's where we stand. All right, so then some of y'all were also talking, those are like the creepiest sleep paralysis stories that you guys dropped for me, which is awesome. But some of y'all were also talking about astral projection, which is fascinating and awesome because, you know, weird people, we flock together. So my experience in that is just having, like, essentially when I dream, just the ability, I think, with most of us to just kind of, like, when you're asleep, you're just able to leave. You know what I mean? You go on these little journeys and it's fantastic. For me, where I tend to go, it's usually just like out, like towards the trees and nature. I just want to see like everything just be silent and soft at night. Like, I think it's nice. I don't do it as much as I used to when I was younger. It was a lot easier when I was younger. Because, like, you know, when you're younger, your belief system is just so much easier. I hate that people take that away from us, too. Like, when we become adults, everybody just tries to take it away from you. Because if you think about it logically, right, these same adults who would tell us that, like, there was a Santa Claus and he was going to be, like, coming down the chimney and all that, are the same adults who then, like, turn around and they're like, take that shit back, and you're like, what? Like, it's very upsetting because they're all of a sudden they're just like, yeah, there's no Santa Claus, there's no Easter Bunny, it was just me giving you the money. Like, by the way, if you hadn't noticed already, there is a fly in here and Bo is none too pleased about it, and so he's been trying to eat it. Am I pretty yet, mommy? But some of y'all were just telling me the hows and whys besides the astral projection. Some of y'all were also telling me the hows and whys of your sleep paralysis. For instance, Tan's Beauty said, yep, for many years when I lived at home. It happened whenever I slept on my stomach. I felt a weight on my back, so I couldn't turn over. Ever since I moved out, I haven't experienced it, but I remember the terror all too well. I do not even know what to say to those of you who have experienced the weight part of it, because my goodness gracious, like, I'm lucky in that I haven't had to experience that, and I honestly don't know what I would do if I did. Like, that is just, like, props to y'all, because y'all just still out there living your best lives, even though when you go to sleep, it's a nightmare. And still others of you reached out talking about dream control. So there he goes. Bo's up to some shit. So when it comes to dream control, especially if you're having a dream you don't want to be having, unless it is a bit of a vision, so that's different. Sometimes, like, you just need to have your vision. I'm so sorry. Even if they're unpleasant, just, you have to have it. I'm sorry. But, because if you try to, like, move to another dream, it's just going to keep popping through. Listen, I know things. Just kidding. Anyway, when it comes to manipulating and controlling your dreams, a lot of it has to do with you being inside of the dream and being able to really focus your energy. And I know that this sounds so like focus your chi, but it's almost focus your energy on what you want to be dreaming about. And it's not even necessarily, like, for instance, I'll tell you the first time I learned it. Okay, so I was having a dream that Freddy Krueger was chasing me, obviously, because that's the kind of child I was. So I was having a dream that Freddy Krueger was chasing me, and I was none too pleased about it. And since I wasn't happy about having that dream, I had tried to manipulate it and I was having difficulty manipulating the actual dream, which was annoying me because I wanted to be having a different dream than I was having. So instead of trying to like change the dream itself, what I did is instead of trying to dream about something else, I was like, okay, well, I'll just change this dream. So I moved it from Freddy chasing me into more of a situation of like Freddy and I sitting and eating popcorn, and I remember this distinctly because I felt so satisfied when it happened, but we were sitting watching Nightmare on Elm Street together in the movie theater, and he had his little knives and he like had popcorn on him and he pointed over to me and was like, "You want some?" It was fabulous. And ever since then, like, I've been able to just be like, don't want to dream about this, bye.
Quick creep note. Every time I tried to read this story, something went awry, so Chandra, girl.
Now, as I'm almost finishing this, I wanted to end this talking about my near-death experiences. And I'd love for you guys to put yours, if you have any, in the comments, also called NDEs. I really wanted to sharpen this, like, look at this, guys. But I'd already started using it, and like once you start using it, you can't switch and just go sharpen it. Like, it just, your other brow just decides to be a bitch when you do that. It's like, oh, you thought we were gonna be the same. All right, I'm bringing you in close again because we're going to probably use my favorite blue eyeliner, and until I get my neon green, you're gonna keep seeing blue. That's life. All right, so anyway, the first near-death experience that I remember, I was between the ages of 7. I feel like it was between the ages of 7 and 9. I was in Okinawa, Japan. I'm a military kid, so I grew up on a military base. And there was this foot swing. It was located in a tree, and I call it foot swing deliberately because it was for your foot. You climbed the tree and you put your foot in there and you went swinging. And it was so fun, by the way. It was such a good time. I honestly, before I finish, like, continue, which I know you're about to be like, bitch, I'm waiting for the story. But like, blue is just like, it's fucking fire. Anyways, okay, I'm done. I'm done being weird about how much I love blue. Which is so funny because like you could probably find some old video or old live somewhere where I was like, I hate wearing blue because it makes me look like Hooker Barbie. But now look at me.
Hooker Barbie.
Alright, so anyway. And we regularly played on this swing. Like, we would climb and like climb up the tree, put our foot in, and just like swing. It was almost like a Tarzan swing, and it was pretty high up. I'm kind of letting this, like, whenever you get a little too much on, just kind of let it branch out, and then you can come in and correct it afterwards. Don't like be like, oh, don't freak out, because like that'll happen. But you just kind of come back in, just let it, just paint it a little bit, get it even. It's really not like the end of days. I know a lot of people will make it feel like that, but it's not. And you just, like, that's why I like this, because it's very easy to work with. Very easy to correct as well. Boom. Boom, baby. Okay. So anyway, we loved the fuck out of that swing. We were always on it. And so let me just say that, you guys are going to get mad at me. Okay, so let me just say this. I am an only child, but I was raised with siblings. My mom was once engaged while we were in Kadena, or on Kadena, really. And I had a brother and sisters. So we were all playing, and we were having a fabulous time. And Sister Annie decided to put her neck in the swing. And I was like, badass. And she went swinging across. It was so fucking fun. She looked amazing. She looked amazing. And I was like, bitch, I can do this too. That was a mistake. That one of many mistakes I've made in my life, to be honest. I've made so many, and it's just uncanny. Not all of them led in a near-death experience, though. This one, though, did. So what happened is I decided to follow suit, and I climbed up there. And I stuck my neck in the swing, and I went. Fun fact, I was not paying attention, because had I been paying attention, I would have noticed her hands were in here around the rope. I didn't. So I was effectively hanging myself at this point. It was a pretty rough deal. And really, if you think about it, it was pretty terrible in more ways than one. Do you know what I mean? You know. So now here I am. Sorry, I had to take a quick break to see what I was going to do with the rest of my face. So here I am swinging, basically hanging myself in a noose on this tree. And I'm just like, ah, and I'm freaking out, and I'm going to bring you back a little bit. And I'm freaking out, and I'm kind of like moving around like, oh, I've made mistakes. So my friend Jennifer, who had a condition with her feet, which I don't know what it was called, I've never bothered to look it up, but her feet, like, you know how all of our feet are like this? Her feet were like this, so she could only walk on the edges of them. So she comes, she grabs me. Well, anyways, she comes and she grabs me, but before I get there, hold on, hold the front door, because we gotta get the rest of the makeups on the face so that I can finish this tale out. As I'm like hanging there and struggling and scared, a voice comes to me, and I heard it. I can't even say the words because, like, thinking about it honestly is kind of freaking me out now that I think about it. But I heard a voice clearly say to me, "Do not struggle, or you will lose air faster." Yes. So I was like, I just went limp immediately and just kind of let myself relax. And that is where Jennifer with the feet comes in. This is why I had to tell you that first, because I was afraid that I would forget and you'd be like, bitch, weren't you gonna? And I'm like, I was, I'm so sorry. So Jennifer comes and she grabs me by my like mid body, because you were like, I was hanging long enough, and I'm a long kid. And so she grabs me, lifts me up with strength that I knew she had, but balance that she should not have had. And she was able to like hold me up the whole time until, oh, that actually, I really like that now. Okay. And she was able to hold me up until they were able to get me down. So that was my first NDE that I clearly remember. The other one that I clearly remember happened around the same age range. We were still in Okinawa, and we were on a military base again, Kadena. We also were vacationing in Okuma. So vacationing in Okuma, we were at the beach. It was a good time. Everyone loves the beach. Everybody's working for the weekend. I don't know why I made that Loverboy reference. So anyhow, I am in the water and I'm having a grand old time, as I should be. And I have this pink floaty that had like blue, like I think it was like blue triangles. That's what I remember. I remember there was like blue triangles, and it had these like blue triangles. I think maybe there were like flamingos on it. I'm not sure. And I was having the time of my life. I was so excited by that floaty, and it was pink, and I was so having fun. And I was like, look at me, I'm a fucking winner, you know, like kids do. And then this is where everything goes awry. And as I'm swimming and having fun and doing all the things that you do when you're swimming and having fun, this float slips out from underneath me, and I'm a really good swimmer. My mom put me in baby swim classes from the time that I was a baby. I don't even know why I said that, because my mother does not know how to swim, and since she doesn't know how to swim, she wanted to make sure that if anything happened, like, I could swim. So, you know, good momming. She did some really badass momming. So with her badass momming, I'm a very strong swimmer. Now the float's crept out from underneath me, and I'm like, oh, I'll just go get it, like anybody would. I'll just go get it. So I'm like, all right. So I go swim forth and try to get this float. Every time I like reached for it, I'd grab it, and because you know those floats are like made out of like, I don't know, like seals, like the back of a seal, because that really felt like what it was made out of, because girl, when I tell you that like the life, like it just was always slipping, and I was, every time I went forward, it just was not trying to hear me, and it just kept slipping forward. And so I kept swimming towards it to get it. Now I'm sure you know where this is going. I'm swimming towards it and it keeps slipping from me. Now I'm getting way too far out in the ocean. And I look back and I begin to realize some very important facts. And the first important fact is I am noticing that I'm too far. The other is that I realized that I'm so far that I really don't have a choice. I need to either keep trying to get the float or swim back, and I can't swim back. Even though I knew I was a good swimmer, I instinctively knew that I would not make it swimming back. And I know you're like, why didn't you scream out for help? Well, because I know that a lot of people don't like it when you put highlight on your nose, but I love it. Like Butane does it, and like, I think it's so freaking cute. Like, she's right. It is cute. People need to stop tripping. The thing there was, I realized I couldn't swim back, so I'm like, all right, well, my only options at this point are to continue trying to swim towards the float and get the float, because what else am I gonna do? So I keep swimming towards it, and I realize that I can't scream for help. That's where I was. The reason I can't scream for help is because it's a fucking beach. Everybody's screaming and splashing and having a good time. I'm fully aware that me screaming is not gonna be overheard. I don't know why I was like this as a child. It must be because of like being a military kid. That's the only thing I can legitimately think of that would make me be like, I can't really scream. Nobody's gonna hear me. But what happens is I'm just like, fuck, and I just keep trying to go towards this float. And just as I'm about to give up, a man pops up out of the water, gives me my float, and I'm like saved, and I'm so fucking excited. But when he hands it to me, he looks at me and he says, you need to be careful. So I get in my float because I'm so excited. I'm like, I fucking get back in the inner tube. It's an inner tube float, whatever. But I get back in there and I'm very excited, and I look around to tell this man thank you, and he's nowhere to be found. Wait for it. So then I just keep looking because I'm like, well, maybe he went to swim back. And what kind of weirdo does that for you? Like, that's weird. Like, why would you help me and then just be gone? Turns out that man never appeared again. I looked out at the ocean. I looked out at the water. I looked and looked and looked. No one popped up. Not a single soul popped up out of that water. That is divine intervention. All right, we just need to do the lips, and then I'll bring you in close for all the creepiness, but also, you know what time it is. That is it. So first of all, I want to thank you guys so much for sharing your stories, because that was amazing. And if you would share your near-death experiences like down below in the pinned comments so that I can find them all in one place, that would be amazing. I would really enjoy that. I just want to know that I'm not the only one. I hope I didn't freak anybody out. I love that I'm finding a bunch of creepy folks, because like, let's be creepy together. Let's be weird together. I hope you guys like this final look. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me while I did it. It's kind of fun. I like this. I actually just used this little palette here. This is a Kaleidos palette. It's freaking phenomenal. This fly is really trying to test my patience. This is the Kaleidos Futurism Electro Turquoise. I love this palette. It's just so much fun. And I like to pair it with a lip like this, like mwah, 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 because it just makes it a little like extra, like makes me look a little bit extra. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Huge shout out to my patrons. We're growing. I'm hoping that you guys get this video early, and then it's like I did something worthwhile once this week. All right, guys, thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And yes, I'm always going to say thank you like a gazillion times, because I can't thank you enough for allowing me to be weird on the internet. Until next time, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Be safe out there. Black lives still matter. And deuces! Woo! That was so hard to get being a bitch. And that fly is being hateful. I'm telling you, I've asked you to go outside several times. All you have to do is leave, or you're gonna drown in the coffee like your last friend. I told that fly to leave. That fly is being belligerent.